We're not using the Emergencies Act to call in the military. We're not suspending fundamental rights or overriding the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. We are not limiting people's freedom of speech. We are not limiting freedom of peaceful assembly.
Well, joining us now to discuss is the spokesman for the Canada Freedom Convoy, Ben Dichter. Ben, so great to have you back on. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you. Good to be here.
So when we spoke about a week ago, you felt like there was progress being made. Do you feel like anything has changed in the time since then?
Yeah, I think he's actually stepped in something. There was a statement released about an hour ago from the Canadian Civil Liberties Association. Now, very important to understand, this is a liberal organization. This is his base of support. They're very partisan. And their statement reads, I'll read it to you very quickly, it's on Twitter, the federal government has not met the threshold necessary to invoke the Emergencies Act. The Emergencies Act can only be invoked when a situation seriously threatens the ability of the Government of Canada to preserve the sovereignty, security, and territorial integrity of Canada, and when the situation cannot be effectively dealt with under any other law in Canada. Now, we have a bunch of trucks that are, you might say, are parked illegally, and some bouncy castles and some barbecues. The whole use of the word blockade is hysterical because everybody is walking around the city. Cars are driving around the city, traffic flows, emergency vehicles can maneuver because we made paths specifically for them. The term of blockade in itself is deceptive, but I don't know, I guess he doesn't like bouncy castles, but he does like dressing up in makeup.
And going along lines with that, not the bouncy castles and putting on makeup, but at least 4 provinces disagree with Trudeau's choice to invoke these emergency powers, and that includes the Premier of Saskatchewan, Scott Moe, who tweeted this: "The illegal blockades must end, but police already have sufficient tools to enforce the law and clear the blockades, as they did over the weekend in Windsor." So, what is really behind this, do you think?
Well, 2 things. So when Scott Moe refers to blockades, he's talking about the border being blockaded, right? Which is very different than us parking illegally in downtown Ottawa right in front of Trudeau's office, right? It's quite funny. I don't think that we're going to, I think what we're seeing is fear. They're out of options. This was his last card to play. He's played it. And you know what we have? All the time in the world. And we'll just wait it out.
Are you concerned? What about the power being given to the banks now, though? The financial resources that they could cut off without a warrant or anything?
That's extremely concerning. One of the things we did last week is we made a move for our funding to go to Bitcoin because, as you know, GoFundMe canceled our $9 million in donations. And then Give, Send, Go had the same treatment from the government of Ontario. So luckily, Give, Send, Go is an American company, and they're holding on to the money while we fight it in court and our lawyers are litigating it. But we went to cryptocurrency and Bitcoin as an alternative. So then they slide in, oh, now Bitcoin's illegal. Sure, let's just make everything illegal. Let's just make up laws however we want. Like, that's not how the process works here. I'd hate to disappoint them. And they are digging a very deep trap for themselves, and it's going to blow up in their face.
All right, Ben, thank you very much for joining us, and good luck.
All right, thank you.
All right. Well, we have been hearing plenty about a possible trucker convoy here in the United States as well. Jen, and the man behind it joins us now, the co-organizer of the Peoples Convoy, Brian Brase. Brian, thank you very much for joining us. The most alarming news to me is what I was just asking about, and that is that banks there in Canada will be able to just freeze the accounts on the mere suspicion of involvement with this convoy. So the concern becomes, could that happen here in the U.S.? Because we've already seen examples of deplatforming and debanking here. We had J.P. Morgan Chase, Facebook, Twitter, even the IRS targeting conservatives.
Yeah, that's definitely an issue for us going forward as well. Luckily, we've also taken the same steps. We're going out on the blockchain. And for those that want to donate, there is the ability to donate to an Ethereum or Bitcoin wallet, as well as your traditional methods of donating. You can find all that information on the peoplesconvoy.org, thepeoplesconvoy.org.
Brian, I know a lot of our viewers are very interested in this. They want to get involved in whatever way they can. Can you give us some details on what we're looking at, how they can also participate?
Yeah, so actually I'm super happy to announce on your show, first time here, dropping the start date here. So officially, this is from the top, this is what's happening. We will be launching our convoy February 23rd, Wednesday, February 23rd, beginning in the Barstow area. Routes will be announced within the week exactly, but we are launching February 23rd out of the Barstow, California area, and we will be marching our way east.
So
when do you plan on arriving in the swamp? That's the $1 million question.
That is everyone's question. It's going to be a slow go, and we'll be updating as we move along. I just want to make sure it's clear that this is a peaceful protest, peaceful, reiterate peaceful, and that we will release those details on our arrival as we narrow it down. We have convoys coming from every direction in the country. We have a main chute coming out of Barstow, but there's people coming out of the Northwest, the Southeast, out of Texas, up out of Maine. There are convoys coming from every direction. I'm just one small piece, that's working with a great team of co-organizers. We have state leads. I mean, this is bigger than any person. I'm not the leader by any means of this. I'm just a co-organizer. And we are trying to coordinate that effectively to arrive at the same time while meeting up along the way to grow our convoy.
And, bigger than any one person and really bigger than any one political party. And I was wondering what your thoughts are on some, media and others trying to make this about left-wing politics or right-wing politics when really it's about working class Americans and what's happening to everyday Americans out there who can't afford to pay for their meals, they can't get their supplies. They just really want everything to get back to normal.
Yeah, I mean, the bottom line is we need to end the Emergency Powers Act. That'll help get rid of the mandates, obviously. And that's pretty much what we're asking for, to restore order to our country, basically. We want to be able to hold some of these people accountable that led us to this. Both elected and unelected officials need to be held accountable for this. But, the bottom line is that this is the People's Convoy. It's called the People's Convoy for a reason. It's not just truckers. We're just the ones standing up, but we want everybody involved. This is not an aisle issue. This isn't a right-wing thing. This isn't a left-wing thing. And no matter how much they try to paint it that way, I think it'll be pretty clear just walking around our convoy that you'll see all walks of life are involved in this. All Americans are welcome to this convoy.
That's awesome. Well, Brian, we are so glad that you could join us tonight. I hope that you'll come back soon. And in the meantime, we wish you all the best in your journey as you get started making your way to D.C.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me, and happy Valentine's Day, lady.
To you too.
Happy Valentine's Day. Thank you.